Hey, good evening, Let's Talk family. And it's Monday night, little after 8, but we're here. Monday night where we do our review show. And right now we are doing season 5, episode 3, This Christmas of The Shy. And I'll say, what's up, brother?
What's going on, man?
Hey, man, very long weekend. How was your weekend, bro?
Man, my weekend was spectacular, man. And
Yeah, yeah.
once again, the birthday weekend turned 48 and got a lot of love, and I'm thankful and grateful for it. But, enough about me. Let's get into this shot, bro. Let's get into it.
um,
Now, full disclosure for everybody before I even go into the shy, I am a big holiday guy. Listen, I love the summer. I love July. It's around my birthday, barbecues and all that. But that stretch from November being Thanksgiving to New Year's was always big with my family. Like always big holiday time. So I love the holiday season. I especially love Christmas. So I think that's why this episode was just and I will go deeper, but this episode was everything for me. Let me just say that.
well, it's interesting because when you called me, you were this was the episode for you. We usually when we most people don't know when we watch the episodes, whoever watches it first usually texts or call the other two and be like, "Yo, did y'all see it yet?" And then we'll kind of say how we feel until the other ones watch it, and then you basically I had knew how you felt about the holidays, and then I knew how you felt about the episode, and you were like, "Yo, this was the episode." Um, so get into that, Dwayne. Why?
Well, we've been talking a little bit, right? And we're 3 episodes in, and you can see that Lena Waithe and the writers and the producers, they have flipped this series, y'all. This is now becoming a very wholesome family type series. It really has. And especially when you think about other things that's on TV right now, she's opening herself up to a whole new crew of people that may come into this shy, man. It's not as much street violence as they once had. You know it's there. The undertones of it is there. But this, she's one of the things we knocked the shy for last year and the year before. We said there was no positive black male figures on this show. And you can see two of the main characters they changing. They're changing Emmett and they're changing Victor because that's what I'm calling him going forward. So they're changing them. And if you look at what they're doing with Victor and Jake and Peaches and Rashad, family, those are the characters that they really showing that family feel with them around the table. Him telling Peaches, don't come back here and mess stuff up. We're in a good place. You know what I mean? Uh, Emmett, Christmas Eve, and he got all three of his kids. Like, so you see that they're maturing some of these people. Um, I, for one, am happy that they didn't drag out the Emmett Tiff thing. I'm glad they ended that very early. They divorced, whatever. They ain't even make it a year. But, I'm glad they ended that. And but I really, really enjoyed the episode, man. It's one of my favorite episodes of the series. It had some funny moments in there, had some moments to make you think. We know our boy going down the wrong path, Big Papa going down the wrong path with Bakari. So yeah, man, I loved it, man. Got to see a little bit of Tracy, so that made it even better. I love Tracy.
I
So
when you called me and you told me how much you liked the episode, I was like, okay, they might have went there and gave Dwayne some stuff. Uh, not just with Tracy, but just some stuff, some action. I know how like you're big on action, you big on crazy plots and stuff like that. So when I first saw the episode, all right, it's okay. What did Dwayne see in this? And then I told you I had seen half of this, half of it the second time, and I waited, and then I seen it the actual second time all the way through, and I really enjoy what you said about the episode, and I totally agree. And I know that's some of Keisha's sentiments as well, and she'll be here. Hopefully, she'll be here shortly. Is that one of the things in TV, and we're big TV supporters and stuff, and you very rarely can see a show be able to basically flip its way or narrative mid within seasons.
Right.
And the Shy has attempted to do that. And like me and you said that, it's funny because watching the 3 episodes, you're either under two conclusions. Either you think that this is going to be the last season of the Shy and they're closing and tying relationships up, or you're thinking like we think is that they're doing a reboot and a re-narrative of these personalities and really get a chance to understand what's going on. And it's I really enjoyed the episode watching the second time because you always see funny stuff
And
within it. What's up, Keisha?
it is right because, like, in this episode, the Christmas movie that everybody was watching, preaching, right? So I know for my family, like my siblings, my nieces and nephews, we'll all call each other and be like, "Hey, this Christmas is on," because that's what we watch. So with that being the title of the episode, I thought that would have been the Christmas movie that everybody was watching or whatever like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed it, man. The flipping, like I said, it's flipping, and Emmett and Keisha, that's happening. That's real now. That's happening.
I know that bothers our Keisha. She was
Wait,
once
what bothers me? I'm getting somebody together. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
the Emmett and Keisha was one of our Keisha's pet peeves 2 seasons ago. She felt as though that they should have been together, and then they went into Emmett and Tiff getting married and being together, and now it's like I got a feeling they're not going to be together. I know it looks like they're going to do it.
Being together, man. Because come on, she even asked Tiff, "Would you have a problem if he was with somebody else?"
I thought that was interesting. I thought it was interesting. Like when he texted her, she said, "Wish you was here." She said, "Maybe."
That's what I'm saying.
I
Like,
don't. I don't. I Dwayne is. I think it's a little unrealistic in a way with that because after talking to our Keisha, like our Keisha, the real Keisha on the show would have been like, "Hold up, this is not going to work." She would have told Tiff she's friends with both of them, and that would have made her feel so awkward. I don't
but
think she's.
Q, she had Emmett before Tiff had him.
But I just
I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters because with everything that Keisha has been through, and her only friend is her only girlfriend right now appears to be Tiff, who doesn't make her feel awkward about whatever happened, whatever her experience is. And even though she was with Emmett first, and Emmett cheated on Keisha with Tiff, I don't see Keisha or Tiff not having a conversation before she's kissing Emmett under the mistletoe as they wrapping gifts. Like it's not believable.
Don't mess up my episode.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's not believable.
So since you said under the mistletoe, little EJ said, "Look, Daddy, Grandma and Papa kissing under the mistletoe." How you feel about that, Keisha?
It didn't
Darnell
bother
and
me.
Jada. A lot of people are upset about this.
A lot of people are upset about it, but I kind of feel like
The
Who upset
bloggers,
about
the
it?
bloggers that Keisha mess with.
yeah, a lot of people on social media, they are very upset. They want to see Jada with the young boy because the young boy saw her through her illness.
Well, that's true, but you could tell when Darnell was first introduced to the Shy, when he was first introduced to it. Even though he had all them kids and that lady, you could tell it was always Jada. You could tell very early. that it was always Jada.
And
So
I
it's
just think
he'd
it's
always say to Emmett,
realistic.
"How your mother doing? How
yeah,
your mother doing?" He'd always be checking on her.
him looking at that high school picture of her in the yearbook and all that. That's realistic, man.
I think it's very realistic, and I think that we are some sexy individuals of a certain age,
Yes, sir.
so we can relate to it better than I think some other people. I don't. Darnell, he wasn't ready for Jada, but he's always loved Jada.
Mm-hmm.
Jada's always loved Darnell. So it's sad that women do it, but sometimes they don't go out and fulfill what they need to fulfill because they waiting on that first love. Like I don't, it's
Look,
sad, but it's
some men do
true.
that. Some men do that crap too. I know a couple right now that's about to get married. They was middle school and high school sweethearts. Both
We
got,
we know a couple people that
but listen, both got married. Their marriages didn't work out, and all these years later, they back together and getting married. So it
Yeah,
happened.
yeah.
But how do we feel about the family unit? Victor, Jake, Peaches, Rashad gave his little girlfriend a cassette tape, and Victor came with the cassette tape player. I like that whole
I
scene.
think I think I think that scene. Honestly, that scene was awesome. I think they were shocked that that Peaches cooked breakfast for them. I thought that was nice. I think that the way that they weave in Jason Weaver's character in it, because his voice is so familiar to us, and when he says something, it's humorous. So after they sort of spread, he was like, "Oh man." And then he called her by her last name because he always called her Miss Such and Such. And then when that doorbell rang and his friend was there, I thought it was nice because then you see inside of Victor, he was like embarrassing him playing with the radio. So I thought that was interesting. I thought the him buying him making that tape for her, that's authentic. I think that's how people are. Was precious to them, and they think it's gonna be precious to you. They'll buy as a gift, and we'll go on to the other scene about the Louis Vuitton bags and stuff like that. Why she felt that way, but I really like that scene. I thought Dwayne, you had mentioned last week how before when she made the dinner and they was praying, how the family unit looked at good. And you know, Victor Wolf James, who plays Wolf Victor, aka used to be Trig on the show. I really like what they're doing with his character, but I wish that they would give us an episode where they talk about his past a little bit so we can understand who he was. Because really, when being introduced to the show was basically boom, he's here. He's the third brother out of three. We don't mention Reg. We
That
act like
bothers
Reg was
me.
we act like Reg wasn't even here, and we know that he was one of them guys back in the day that did a lot of stuff. But I believe for the audience, give us a little bit more character of who he was and how him and Rashad used to run the street. But I really like his transformation. I'm upset, kind of, that he signed the MDA, well NDA, and it's like now he got to deal with something that he don't want to deal with because he really is or does come across on the show as an authentic character and very sincere and helpful. And that's why I want the background, like because he really is somebody to root for on the show.
It is. She gave us a male that we could root for, man. Um, and I don't care, y'all. Due to my man, yo, that's a cool cat, yo. When they opened up the doors and he was in his red Santa outfit, I'm just,
Talk about Merry Christmas.
yeah, yo. But let me ask you, and I'm gonna ask Keisha this, Q. So, is Duda putting Peaches up to all this?
Yeah, I think Jake is Dudas. It's some type of relationship between Peaches and Duda. Because let's just think about it. Peaches is still a pretty lady.
Yeah,
Um, so when Jake is what, 16, 17, Duda may have been mid-level drug dealer. He wasn't top of the food chain. Peaches was still a pretty girl. Um, and some type of bond or relationship between Peaches and Duda. But I have a whole problem with I feel that way and he killed Reg. Because Reg is her son too. I
True.
have a whole problem of what's going on of that whole dynamic, or where, because he wasn't supposed to kill Reg or have Reg killed. Um so and Tracy, I'm sorry, Dwayne. Tracy is an idiot. I'm starting not to like her at all.
Listen, you don't gotta like her. I don't gotta like her. I just want to see her with her clothes off. That's all.
let,
Mm.
let me ask you. It's funny you said that about Tracy, and we'll go into that. I dropped something on Dwayne, Keisha, while we was talking. He
Yes.
he he mentioned Tracy, and I said, "Yo, remember." And this is what a lot of us as fans we tend to forget of the show is that Coogie would be alive if it wasn't for Tracy. Now she's got this moral dilemma with Bakari coming by the shop because he killed Ronnie. Ronnie would be
Would be
alive
alive if
if
it
it was
wasn't for
not for
Tracy.
Tracy. Tracy, as good as she is and what she's trying to do for a community, at the end of the day, she was a mother of a victim who wanted revenge. And it's interesting. I mean, it's an interesting dynamic because she wants to help her community, but she wants revenge. And now it may come out because at the end of the day, like you would think what she got going on, why would she be attracted to do that? Oh, she attracted to the shit.
I
She's
think
with the shit.
because what's the other guy name you like? Is it Q?
Q.
Did Q rape her, or was she hot in the ASS?
We
Nah,
I didn't get the impression that he raped her.
I think he took advantage. But we got to really dig deeper into these characters, right? Because one thing she slipped on us is this sisterhood of the four women: Dre,
which bothered me last week.
Jada, and Tracy. Now, her and Tracy are cool. They both slept with Ronnie.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
a lot of that going on in
Yeah.
this.
But okay, so here's the thing. I don't have a problem with that because Tracy and Ronnie was over when Jada slept with Ronnie.
Yeah.
Like you could still have a friendship on that level. So
But
this
Keisha,
why the Keisha and Tiff friendship, that's not what bothers me. What bothers me is that you're now going to put Emmett and Keish together, and we're not going to address that Keisha's betraying her friend. That's a betrayal of your friend. You gotta say, I'm gonna be back fucking the home. I mean, you gotta say something. A conversation has to happen.
yeah. And that is the one thing and though we all like the episode, though we all love how season 5 is being played out because the theme of season 5 is black love. That is the one thing that we all three always had concerns about the Shy is that sometimes with lazy writers, and I'm not, and I don't want to make some bad accusations. But it is the truth. With lazy writers, you don't understand how sometimes your audience is so engulfed with these characters, they don't miss a beat. You never explained how Tracy knew the rest of the girls in depth because the way she sat with them, the way she did the Christmas thing with them, you would have thought she was one of the homies. Had Let's be some background. Had we known she was one of the homies, let's just look at it. If Jada knew she was a homie, right? Jada took care of Ronnie's grandmother. They all seen Ronnie when he was quote unquote the neighborhood drunk or the neighborhood alcoholic. So she would have known like Miss Ethel's grandson is, used to mess with Tracy, my friend. So by not providing that background, not providing us in depth of what the friendship, you allow us to be like, come on now, like this is unrealistic, and it goes into the whole Tiff thing, which I don't like. I will go on record. I don't like the way they're going with Tiff. I just think that the way they're going with Tiff is a little messy, and it's like she's saying what she wants. Rob, who's been played by Amon Shumpert, who's doing a hell of a job. Dwayne and myself been watching Amon Shumpert since he's been in college.
Right.
So to see him transition from basketball to Dancing with Stars to now being a pretty decent actor, Amon Shumpert is doing a hell of a job. Anyway, but to see she's saying she don't want a monogamous relationship. He's like, okay, but I'm
Mm.
this way, and it's like I just think her moves, the way they got her moving, and I know she's young. I think that if you want to make Tiff's character like this, make her had went back home to her mother. Make her had been undecided of how she feels about everything going on. You just got her making some real interesting decisions going forward, and she's kind of like the even in the episode they're divorced. It's final. It wasn't even no drawn out. Let me think about it type thing. I think it's interesting where they're going with that.
So what are they doing with Kev? Like, do he like the girl that live in the house with them? Do he like the girl that he danced at the party with? It,
Well, one thing I want to talk about with Kev Dwayne is I need you to explain to the like you explained to myself and explain to the audience why Kevin and Emmett are the main characters of the Shy. I don't think a lot of us understand why.
well, if you look at it and you go back, they're the only two people that have been in every episode of the show. Been 45 episodes of the show. They've been in every episode, and they both had intimate connections with who was originally the star of the show. Because make no mistake about it, the star of the show
Brandon.
was Brandon character, and Brandon was trying to mold both of them. You know what I mean? So they got that connection there. Um, but it's funny because I kind of like some of the things. I don't know if y'all caught it, right? The episode of this is called This Christmas, right? Donnie Hathaway wrote that song. He's known for writing This Christmas. They got his daughter Layla in this episode, and she brings the Donnie Hathaway vinyl to
Hmm.
the house.
Yeah, yeah.
Who was his
At the
daughter?
Christmas thing, at the Christmas party, that's his daughter.
Oh,
That
Yeah.
was his
When
daughter.
Dre was like, hey, I got somebody with me, you know what I mean? This, that, and the third. Yeah, that was
So
Layla.
I thought that was smart too. That was
Now I missed the part Q where you said, and I still watched it again, and I still missed it.
Kev picked up the weed.
Yeah,
He came in, he gave his mother the kiss. He looked around, gave his mother the kiss on the cheek, and then he doubled back, looked in the ashtray, and picked up that bud. Man, Kev is a
half
little
slick.
budding star. But Dwayne, like you said, about Kevin and being one of the main characters of the show, I kind of don't understand what they're doing with Kevin because now it's three different young ladies in 5 seasons. Um, I was questioning why Kevin was so upset that Victor couldn't get old girl's brother. Yeah, the girl's brother was wanted for a murder. And I think that Victor, the way that his character is, that he wants to help out so much that they wrote it in that he really tried his best, and Kev just seemed like he was angry. And
yeah. Victor's the man. People
watching Kev grow in 5 years, like we really seen him grow up.
in real life, Kev is 18 years old. Them boys went from being little,
They were little.
like teenagers to now. And again, I don't know, Papa was hitting the weed. Now, did Papa ever hit the vaping stuff with Jake and Kev? I know they was
Yes,
Yeah, he did. He
yes.
did.
with them.
He
Because
did.
they would be smoking all the time. I just didn't know if Papa ever
Yeah.
did. But he trying to find himself too right now. He a little lost, you know what I mean? And see, Bakari is the wrong person for him to be around right now.
He said
I think he gonna flip his wig back.
no, but he said Papa said to him, "Merry Christmas, Bakari." Bakari was like, you, and even with Bakari, let's be honest, he's been on the shot 3 seasons. He's been here. He's been here since the beginning, basically. So you always have an avenue to explain his story. You always have a way. Why did he feel like he needed to defend Kookie? Because we all know that Kookie really wasn't a bad kid. Kookie was just a neighborhood kid who wore Jason's chain when Jason got killed. Like, I mean, they should speak about Bakari probably being traumatized with seeing his friend get killed, with seeing Cookie get killed. So I'm gonna ask you a question, Keisha. The Christmas gifts. Why did Tiff respond like that?
I mean, because she want Emmett. This dude don't know her well enough to know that, because in this time and day and age, all these girls, they love labels. That is status. If a dude is flying you out on vacation and buying you all types of labels, you can stun on all the other girls. Emmett didn't have that type of money, so Emmett was probably romantic. This is what Tiff's used to, and she's always wanted Emmett. So she can't recreate Emmett in another man, though. So ideally, the way that it should work is that Tiff should be miserable. But if they write it in a way that Keisha's gonna open herself up to Emmett and he goes back to Tiff, I'm not watching any more shows. I'm telling y'all right now, y'all not even gonna be able to convince me.
Nicole, I see your statement that Kevin was disappointed with the girl. He got hopes of. That's another thing. I don't think Kevin was disappointed, Nicole. I think Kevin was legitimately angry. And I think why would he tell a girl he's gonna get her brother until he actually knew? Because actually, Victor told him like, "Look, I ain't making no promises. I'll try." And Kevin told her before he opened that door, like, "This is your gift." And then he told her what it was. So he set her up for the disappointment. I just think that it was odd how angry he seemed to be. They always show Kevin when he's angry they do a close up visual of Kevin where he's like huffing and puffing, and he got this facial expression. So I just thought it was odd that he would be so angry based off of something that wasn't promised or wasn't a given. Yeah, Keisha, I think that is like I said, the whole Tiffany thing is just it's just weird how you've been building Emmett up since and when we talk about Aaron's character was has always been authentic. Jacob Lattimore, honestly, when you sit back and watch these shows and these episodes, Jacob Lattimore is doing a hell of a job.
He's a phenomenal actor.
Good actor, but he was really good in uh that Will Smith movie, which was tough for me because I watched that. Me and my sister watched that a couple of months after our parents passed away, and it was a tough watch. But he did a very good job in that movie. What was it? It was Collateral something. I can't remember the name of it right now. But he did that with Will Smith when he was
Yeah,
young. Really good
yeah,
actor.
yeah. And if you watch him, you saw how he basically was a young guy making kids, not being responsible. But think about it, he's evolved. He got his G rod. He got Smokey. He got Smokey's jumping, and he wants all his kids in the same house. I just find it funny how they got him going through the changes and the facial expressions, and then they got him doing the 30-day celibate challenge.
You know what I thought was cute? He actually was excited that he's never seen his parents together.
Yeah, he started off like, yo, the kids. But
Yeah,
then he was
he's
like,
never seen he's never seen the love that they had that created him. To me, that was cute.
I really, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I really respect him and Darnell's relationship. Like I really think that Darnell, if you watched the show, Darnell always kept it G with him. He always kept it G
can
with
we
Emmett.
talk about Darnell though?
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a problem because Darnell is mid 40s, mid
I
Oh
40s.
don't
yeah,
even think they that old.
yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying.
The high school reunion was '96.
High school reunion was 96. So they was class of 96.
Okay, then yeah, they are mid-40s.
There's nobody in their mid 40s walking around with an earpiece in their ear. Like they got him like he's 60 years old. Unless that's some type of Chicago thing that we don't know about. But he wouldn't be. But yo, that scene where Sway punched him, he was like, man, let me find my earpiece.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
he
interesting.
knocked the earpiece out of his ear by copping him on the left side of his face, and then at the end he said, you lucky, I
See, them
couldn't find my
cold.
earpiece." So it's funny because the earpiece, when you picked up on it in when Darnell first got introduced to the show, the earpiece is like a running joke within the show. Emmett said to him, "Yo, let me get you some pods and stuff." He was like, "No." One thing I did notice, Dwayne, you brought up the Chicago thing, and I know a lot of people may not have picked up on it, and I know Chicagoans picked up on it. When Tracy came over, Tracy bought the Garrity's, man. Anybody that know about Chicago popcorn, very, very famous store that's based out of Chicago. They got one in the city, New York now. And that daggone caramel and cheddar cheese popcorn that Garrity's make is something special. And I wanted to bring y'all attention to one thing. You know, we always see funny stuff. And the whole Christmas scenes with the lovers, why did they have Sway and Jada on that little ass bed, Dwayne?
Y'all ain't never laid in a twin.
You listen. We've been there. We've been there. But at a certain age, Keisha, you stay queen or above, and you'll be like, even with a queen, you'll be like, I don't want no company right now because my bed ain't big enough for the both of us. Like, we need a California king so we can stretch out, yo. Yeah, Nicole, that popcorn is the truth. One of the things that my sister does, my sister travels to Chicago a lot, and she would, when I lived with her and around her, she would always bring that popcorn back from Chicago on her trip. And actually, you could order Garrity's online now, and it still be fresh because they put it in that wax paper bag within the can. So that's one thing that we always criticize these shows with is to have that Chicago or New York culture within the show. I'm
Yeah,
still waiting. I'm still waiting for the Shy and even Power Four Force to play some house music because you got to, but they haven't decided to do it yet. So hopefully one day they will.
I would I would expect it in the Shy. I don't know if I would expect it in the Force.
Yeah.
Um, because
they
that's
got
a Caucasian
around,
show.
around cows though, because if they really wanted to be authentic, they would have some cows. But that's you got to dance around that one.
Yeah. And that's
And
interesting.
I you know what? Back to Kevin. I don't like that Kevin has no direction. I don't like that what they're doing with Kevin. Kevin is the smartest of the three kids. Um, he's been through a lot, but he has the most stable home environment.
Maybe not no more.
Why? Dre and Nina going to counseling.
Yeah, but Victor,
I don't know. Y'all seen the brat on IMDb? Because if
I
the brat ain't, and I said y'all seen the brat on IMDb. If the brat ain't in no more shows, then
So you saying they played the Brad as the home wrecker?
yeah, they got the most stable home life.
I you know what's funny? I said this to Dwayne Keisha, and Dwayne said it last year, and it was always our running joke. Dwayne would always say it, and we would all snicker and laugh, and we would always be like, Dwayne would always be like, Dre is the only positive male in the show. We all know that.
Yeah.
We all know that Dre is a woman, but going off of that, I like Dre, but I kind of got tired of her this week when she said the counseling.
but
Dre
Yeah,
act
you know
like
what it
she
is.
in love
It's
with
it's
Jada.
when Tracy asked
but
the question, the first thing she said is counseling, and it's like
I
now I understand what Nina's talking about, Dwayne. Every time, all she do is think of counseling. She can't take
well,
off that counseling hat.
I think part of it, right, and it's just me. I think they trying to say to African American people in general, "Hey man,
To go to
counseling is good.
counseling.
Go to counseling. You can go to counseling. It's a good thing." So I think Lena is really hammering that home. This season, the counseling aspect.
Okay, so here's my thing. I definitely think that we need to go to counseling, but I also think that we need to go to black counselors. So then
Mm.
there you go. So if you're not giving the full message, because other counselors may not accept or understand our trauma
They
or
don't
even
speak.
And
our vernacular or how we speak.
and that has been always some of the clinicians that are black. What they say is that the module that they use doesn't particularly fit the culture that we come from. That was always I know a lot of people get on Dr. Umar Johnson, but that's what he says about the children. He said the module that you use for the standard for regular kids is not for black kids, and it's basically um it's some racial overtones within the curriculum that they
Y'all know
use.
my counselor story, so you know, you got to have the right
You do.
situation. But I'm not really feeling Jada. Because the Jada and Nina relationship, they
Keisha,
typical people,
Keisha,
right? Yeah.
Jada, the truth on the DL. Jada, listen, Keisha, and I know that daggone Dwayne, and we never say nothing when Dwayne start his stuff about Tracy because she that red bone. But if you love chocolate women, let me tell you, Jada bringing everything to the yard. And as the young kids say, she dragging a wagon too, man. Like Yolanda
Oh,
Cross is a very beautiful
I
young
didn't even
lady.
mean Jada. I meant Dre and Nina.
Okay,
Yeah.
Dre. Thank
I,
you.
I like Jada. I don't like that hair. I don't know what's going on with that hair. But Nina and Dre, they are in counseling. So now they're trying to put themselves or their experience in everybody relationship. They not when they were sitting drinking the eggnog, they wasn't listening. They wasn't listening at all. And that's a real true problem in our community because a lot of us do it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
We
glad
get
you touched
you
on
get
that.
to the point where you be worried
Uh,
like even Tracy, right? When Tracy said, "How y'all doing?" And she said, "Counselor." With all due respect, they can't offer Tracy no
well,
advice.
here's my point, and it goes to that. I'm just shocked that Tracy is with them. Like they just threw that in on us this year. Like, was she ever really close with the three of them? Like,
No, the only
She
time that
met she met Dre and Nina when Keisha was missing.
when she stepped up and said, "I just want to help out."
but they make it seem like she's been down with them since they was in high school this year.
That she wasn't at the reunion.
No, that's what I'm
No.
saying. So they slipped that one in.
And I'm gonna say she's younger than they are. But listen, Duda laying it down.
How
They
old is
don't have
Duda?
they don't have nothing. Duda got money. He got some
How old
swag
is?
to him. They
Dude,
don't have nothing
all
to
I
offer
know,
that
all I
girl.
know is that Curtis was there doing the shipping and the handling. He was handling both, and then woke up like I put all that work in. Where she at? She out on the balcony, wishing upon a star. You know, and I'm glad that they finally did show that emotional part of Tracy where she was like, on Christmas, that's one thing about Jason. So I thought that was good. But man, most of the time when we do our review shows, we're usually doing our score early. So 40 minutes in, we're gonna do our ratings for this show. Um, for those that have never watched the show with us live, or even if you're watching on playback, we always rate the show from 1 to 10, 10 being the highest on what we think about the episode. Just know that any show that we've done from The Shy, from season 3, 4, 5, to all the powers that we've done, no show has ever gotten 3 10s from any of us. So not saying that we won't. I don't think no show has ever knocked it out the park so much that all three of us agree on the score when it comes to giving it a 10. So without further ado, Dwayne.
Hey man, this is the best Shy episode ever. Yeah, I'm saying this is my favorite episode ever. So I'm giving it. I'm
You
giving.
giving it a 10?
I'm giving Black Love a 10. Yes, it's my
What
favorite
you
episode.
giving it, Q?
Dwayne has given this episode a 10. Um, like I said, and I'll repeat my scores from the last 2 weeks. The first episode got an 8.5. Last week got a 6.5. And this, I know Dwayne may want to kill me for giving this,
No,
and
that's
I'm
fine.
gonna give it, but I'm gonna give this episode a 8. And not that it did anything wrong. This episode did do a lot for me because, like I said, I personally believe that The resetting of the show is masterful. Um, to me, it shows that the writers aren't being lazy. I think that any creator of a show willing to do what she's doing, she's testing her audience and seeing if her audience will follow her along this journey. And I think that people that really want to watch a good family show, because it is a family show now, and understand where we are in black media, black TV on July 11th, 2022, because as Fat Joe famously said, yesterday's price is not today's price. Yesterday's programming is not today's programming. And I think what she's doing going forward is good for what we need to see on TV and a proper representation of, as we would say, black culture and black culture on TV. So I'm giving it 8.
Well, I'm giving it a 5.75. Like they got I did. I
Woo
didn't
wee!
hate it.
A 5, Keisha?
Point
That's a
seven five. That's almost
okay.
a 6. It's
Mm-hmm.
almost a 60. It's like a 57 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Listen,
Mm-hmm.
the first episode, I was like, they back. I'm into it. These last 2 episodes, no, I can't. I can't. I'm not where I'm never gonna watch it again because that's how I was kind of feeling the last couple years, or
Well, Keisha,
just watching it because we doing a show.
Keisha,
I'm
for
looking,
2 years,
yeah,
and I realized it earlier. I was talking to one of y'all, I can't remember. For 2 years, they held us with each week. Yo, we can't do this, and I think that us being committed to doing the review into each other allowed us to continue coming back. Because I'm quite sure, it was plenty of Mondays where I was like, man, I'm gonna just tell Keisha and
they
Dwayne, man, let's nip it in the bud.
let me. This
This
is
is
my feelings. They better step their game up, or this is the last season.
this was a very refreshing alternative to Uncle Cliffy and them. Like this made me feel good, man.
Well, Dwayne, you mentioned that, and as a person that gave up on P Valley after the second or third episode last year, I will, I have to disagree with you. I'm just gonna say
Me
that
too.
this and P Valley, and I understand how people feel about certain things they're saying, and Dwayne, I'm with you on that.
You could fast forward
But
through the part.
honestly, this and P Valley, if you, for those people that want to say they're woke or whatever people say, if you really look at what's going on within them shows, the young lady that's doing P Valley and the young and Lena, they doing right by the culture. Because to me, they're not embarrassing the culture. They're speaking about some harsh truths that we see every day that a lot of us may not face. Definitely dealing with that mental illness and
Well,
trauma and junk. But I want to ask you something about what you said, Keisha.
but listen, hold on one second. What people are missing with this season of The Shot too is think about the colors. Think about the positive light she's showing Chicago and scenes of the city with people ice skating, like very bright and vibrant colors. Tracy wearing that yellow on the skating rink. She's changing the mood from being dark and she's bringing it to a positive sort of light. And that's very subtle. But if you look at this Christmas episode, popping, everybody got a tree. Every tree is decorated. Like the way Duda had the thing decorated. Like it's real big. And Tiff saying it's not about the value of the gift, right? It's about the thoughtfulness of the gift. Like there's a lot of things that they're doing to show love. And I'm about love and positivity. So
See,
that's
hey,
why
hey Keisha,
I gave it
Keisha, Keisha, and when we do our score, we never ever try to sway the next one with their score. And I
a
love, I love your 5.75 because to me, when one of us give a low score or even a high score like Dwayne gave, it gives us a challenge to look at it
It's bad. First of
maybe
all,
from a
I'm
different
looking at
lens.
shit. I
But
wish I
Keisha,
had
Keisha,
100.
How dare you say if they don't pick it up, you're gonna stop watching? You're in there. We're tied together with this. You are
Listen,
tied. We are tied together. We are tied
I
together.
am not of the. I haven't written it off, and I am not of the opinion that they all over the place. I really think that it is a reset. I do.
Well,
But it's troublesome to me that they're leaving out a lot of stuff, and they hear us questioning, well, what happened with this, or what happened with that? Um,
that
like
mentioned it.
not mentioning Reg when Jake gave her a picture, she didn't even touch it. My baby, like, yes, Victor is here now, but Reg was holding it down. It wasn't no Victor, it wasn't no Peaches, it was Reg and Jake. Um, that's a disservice. That whole Amani thing, that's a disservice. So it's still some things that it is troublesome to me, but I didn't hate the episode. I even thought it was a little bit cute, you know.
Yeah, the
Keisha's
Chicago.
feeling a way about Emmett, all of that is a little cute if she wasn't friends with Tiff. Like, to
Yeah.
me, that puts a bad representation on us as a community, because that's, we come from a little community, they come from a little community. We would be mad as all get out, if I'm now with one of my homies' husband.
We've seen it, even in our little community.
We've seen it, but do we fool with those folks? Because I don't think I fool with them folks.
We've seen family members
I
start
don't
messing.
think I fool with them folks.
But that's a story for another day. Now
Right.
listen,
I don't think I fool with them folks. I know some
I'm on
folks
my
I don't
phone.
fool with none of them.
What's the ratings in the comments? I can't see them.
We
Nicole
ain't
gave
getting
it a
no
7.
ratings.
Nicole gave it a 7.
That's
Okay,
Nobody
right,
else said it.
Nicole.
Nobody else
And
gave it a rating.
Nicole.
okay.
Nicole gave it a 7. Um,
Giving that shit a 10.
Keisha, I think that I agree with you on everything that you said about the show. But all I'm saying, if they give us a bad episode, you're out. You're not going to be out. One thing that they've earned with these 3 episodes is for us to follow the story all the way through.
They've earned
Like
grace.
like I said that it, it it's nothing like the Wire, Dre. Nothing like the Wire. And I think that Dre. One thing I'm glad you asked that question, Dre, about was it like the Wire? A lot of us got spoiled by the Wire, and it's interesting that the Wire spoke about criminality and how we as a culture are intrigued with the criminality. And I know when the Wire went to the port, a lot of people got upset with why they talked about the port. But basically, if I think that a lot of people don't understand the backstory to the Wire was the creator of the show used to write for the Baltimore Sun, and he knew about all these stories about all this stuff that happened as a writer for this newspaper. So he created the show The Wire, and so he gave a different perspective on criminality. So I think that a lot of people thought it was just a black orientated show on the criminality of what goes on in the black underworld. But it has the Shy is based on this area in Chicago and the dynamic of these kids. So you, Dre, if you're gonna start watching season 1 and season 5, they do tie together because you do see the same characters, not even the main characters, far as Ahmad Ferguson, who plays Bakari, how he was in the beginning, and now he's back in season 5. But Keisha, you're tied with watching.
He could get 2 more years out of this.
I mean, that's
Uh,
what she
but,
did, right? Lena
but
Waithe Dwayne, by reinventing the show, by rebooting the show, and changing the narrative from the
he
last 2 seasons. I Keisha, I believe. Look, Keisha, honestly, we've
we
talked
got
about this to nauseum.
tired of it.
We know that the Jason Mitchell character was such. I believe that Brandon, that character Brandon, was so entwined with the writing of the show that instead of recasting like Dwayne said they should have done, they killed the character off, and it shattered the whole writers' room. It shattered their room because everybody had a connection to Brandon, even to the point where Dom said, "Oh, Brandon wasn't shit." So now we still don't know why Dom said that. So
Listen, I agree. I agree with all of that. But I can't take any more of the Keisha. Like
Gotta
they reinvented Ronnie, then they killed him. You know, they had the two cops. What's her name? We
Detective
what happened?
Toussaint and Detective Cruz.
Yeah, Tucson. What happened to her son and in jail? Those was not stories they were supposed to cut because in the beginning, the police were instrumental as being a part of the community as well. So now they gave us Duda and Q, right? They done made Duda a mayor. I think they went completely wrong with going that route. Duda was supposed to put somebody in as a mayor and then filter whatever he needed done through that person, not be the mayor. So, so now you're bringing Duda and Q back. When is Q going to say something to Emmett? Like all these things when I'm watching the episodes,
you got
it's
time
running through my head.
Keisha, we got 7 more
for that?
episodes in the season.
You don't
Then
got
well, they better get better.
listen, they have started this season off with a bang.
You
And
have
I want Papa
you
to
have
have
no
his
P
season.
Valley. You have no P Valley for 2 weeks, Keisha. So the
I
next two
know.
weeks of the shy,
I'm gonna be
you could
down in
hone
the
in.
valley crying because
Now,
P Valley
listen,
ain't kicking they behind.
listen, man. Dre sitting there smoking that chronic, like there's little subtle things, man. Everybody had Christmas sweaters on, like it just felt
They should
warm.
have
Like
did the ugly sweaters.
Shout
Yeah,
out to shout out to Aunt Chicky who has the
the
ugly
ugly
sweater party
sweater.
every
Yeah.
year.
so then so then you got Keisha talking about who wants hot chocolate. It been like
And them, I know y'all talked about it, but them kids ain't want to watch that damn movie.
nah.
I tried to get my nephews to watch Emmett Otter's Christmas. That was my favorite thing
I got it
ever.
on DVD, and I make my
But
nieces
Keisha,
watch it.
Keisha, the one
They
thing
gotta
about
watch.
those movies, as a kid, you may have didn't want to watch those movies, but every kid remembers those movies from their childhood. Me, I remember March of the Wooden Soldiers. To this day,
I remember
my sister will be like,
Ralphie.
"March of the Wooden Soldiers
I
is
mean,
on."
I remember Ralphie.
Yeah, I watch that every year too. God, watch
But
that.
This for you, Dwayne.
What? I can't see it. I can't see it.
Nicole said, "Dwayne, are you about to tear up?"
Tear up. No,
Yeah,
listen. I love Christmas, man. This year, it is my goal to be under a tree with some woman, maybe women, wearing matching Christmas outfits. That's my goal. It may happen.
Keisha,
If
that
you
was
are you
that's
gonna fly out to make it happen? I'm gonna talk to you in
oh
private.
oh. With that,
have
we're gonna close the show.
too many delayed
I
flights, the
appreciate
flights is
I
delayed.
I
I want
appreciate
$10,000 for it getting canceled, though. I want
any
that.
anybody have any final thoughts?
Yes.
Keisha with the Keisha with a late will kick on Dwayne.
Keep, keep watching and loving season 5, man. I'm so into season 5. This is no game. I love the reboot. I love the direction. And yeah, there's certain things that's bothering me, and I'm just trusting that they got 7 episodes to make sense.
Keisha, final thoughts?
Y'all haven't lost me yet.
My final thought is, like Dwayne said, keep watching the shot. I believe that the best is yet to come. I believe that we are headed for an unbelievable twist because at the end of the day, they're not going to give us 10 episodes. The season is themed Black Love, but they're not going to give us 10 episodes of just all this nostalgic, feel good story. I think
Well,
that it's going to be a twist.
next
But let
episode seems like it's gonna be some things
Don't
happening.
let
well
don't
next
let the previews
episode,
get you, Keisha.
next episode is gonna be the worst episode of the season because she's already spilled her formula.
I was
She always makes
like,
episode 5 that episode that make you go wow, and then she finishes that episode 5 up. Remember last year episode 5 what happened? dude I got shot on the rooftop. She always do something extreme, episode 5. So that's why when she was in that interview, season 5 itself was the extreme flipping of the story. So next week you may not get what you want, but the week after that, I think you're going to see a lot of Q. I think you're going to see a lot of Q going into this community, talking to the young jokers. Like, he wants Chicago back the way he knows Chicago, not this lovey-dovey Chicago. I
Yeah.
think that all comes to a head episode 5. So bear with next week, y'all. It may not be a 10.
With that, we're gonna close the show. Remember, the best way to support is to like, share, subscribe. Um,
Tell a
realize
friend,
we
tell a
got other shows that go on, as far as the poetry corner, as far as trending topics and conversations with friends, as well as our other interviews that we are going to continue. We have a very interview this coming Sunday. This will be a re-interview with somebody I interviewed. She was actually the third person I ever interviewed for Let's Talk. She'll be back Sunday to give us an update on her businesses and what she's doing. That is the lovely Dara Cox. So be forward to checking her out this Sunday, as well as our other shows this week. With that, remember to like, share, subscribe, and take it easy. Have a great week.
and we're going to do
The Poetry Corner.